it's Burgess Taylor, and this is the NaNoWriMo Tag. Kristina Horner did the original video, and I'm going to have that linked below. There are 9 questions in the NaNoWriMo Tag, so let's get started. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about NaNoWriMo. NaNoWriMo is National Novel Writing Month, where you write 50,000 words in 30 days. It's a great way to start your novel, to get your novel written. If you've always wanted to write a novel, start. That's what National Novel Writing Month is all about. It's getting the words on the page. So, number 1. How many times have you done NaNoWriMo? 6. This will be my 7th actual NaNoWriMo November, not counting the camps. How did you first find out about NaNoWriMo? Through a Yahoo group chat room thing a long time ago. Number 3, what was the name of the first novel you attempted with NaNoWriMo? That would be called The Novel. It's original, right? That was my first time. About 2 weeks in, I had computer problems, then I had internet problems, and I gave up, and I quit. I quit. I quit writing. Big mistake. That's never happened again, and it won't happen again. I won't quit. Whether I get 50,000 words or not, I will not quit. Okay, so number 4. Give us a 1-sentence summary of what you're writing this year. My protagonist is a former witch who is a paranormal journalist. She debunks the paranormal hoaxes and frauds and stuff like that for a living. She gets a message from her brother. She gets a phone call, and her grandmother has been murdered. Their grandmother has been murdered. She is summoned by the lawyer and the coven when she gets back to her hometown to go to her grandmother's funeral, and guess what? She is the next in line to be head of the coven according to her grandmother's wishes. The coven was started by her family. The coven includes other family members, neighbors, people who she's grown up with, and they have summoned her because, like I said, she's supposed to be head of the coven, and she has to go through some training, but they also need to stop the hunters. Now, at this point in the novel, in the beginning, they're called witch hunters because they don't know any more really that much about them, but they are hunters of the paranormal, supernatural, and not quite like Sam and Dean, but sort of kind of like Sam and Dean. It would be cool if they were more like Sam and Dean. I don't really like how they feel about witches, though. So anyway, she doesn't want to do any of this. She's been 10 years away from the witchy business altogether. That's the title of my novel, Witchy Business. And she doesn't want anything to do with the witchy business. She doesn't want to be head of the coven. She doesn't want to do anything. But the only way that she is going to do this is if she gets justice for her grandmother's death. And she realizes this may be the only way she can accomplish that. So, after a conversation with her brother and finding out her girlfriend has been cheating on her, she catches her. She goes back to her hometown. She agrees. She starts training. She's going to protect her family and her friends in the coven, and she's going to get justice for her grandmother. She's going after the witch hunters. Best defense is a good offense. Number 5. What's the best writing advice you've ever been given? To just write. To just write. The more you write, the better you get at it. The broader your vocabulary is, the better a writer you are, the more you are able to figure out what works for you and what doesn't. It improves your writing process, whether you are writing in a journal or writing poetry, short stories, fiction, nonfiction, it doesn't matter. Write something every day. The more you write, the more a habit it becomes, and after a while you don't really think about it. You're just writing every day, and you're a much better writer for it. And I would say read. Read inside and outside of your genre. To be a good writer, you have to read. Stephen King. Number 6. Did you ever take a year off from Nano, and why? Yes. More than a year, actually. My first NaNoWriMo was in 2002. That's the one I failed. I didn't do a NaNoWriMo again until 2006. I won. Then I took a hiatus from NaNoWriMo again and didn't start participating until 2011 on a regular basis, and have been doing NaNoWriMo events since then. NaNoWriMos and Camp NaNoWriMos. Since 2011, it has been on a regular basis. I haven't skipped a year, and I have won 5 out of the 6 I have participated in, and like I said, this will be my 7th. Number 7, what's your biggest inspiration when figuring out what to write? When I dream about the novel or a character that needs a novel. When the character screams at me in my dream, hey, hey, write about me. Number 8, read us the first sentence from one of your novels. The witch kept to the shadows. That's the first sentence of my prologue for this novel. I started this novel in April's Camp NaNoWriMo, re-editing, redoing, because I started it last NaNoWriMo, but I completely hated it. And then after editing during camp, April and July, I realized that although I had 60-something, 70,000 words in the novel, it wasn't authentic, and I really wanted it to be more authentic. So the only thing I have kept is the prologue. I am starting fresh, chapter 1. I do have that project in Scrivener. I have not done away with it. I do have done away with it. I may end up using some of it later, but not during NaNoWriMo. Why do you love writing? It's the last one. I've talked about it before. I'm an avid reader and an avid writer. I write poetry, I write short stories, I write fiction, I journal, I art journal, I blog, and to tell you the truth, I can't imagine my life without writing any more than I can imagine my life without reading, without books. I am an avid reader and an avid writer, and I write because I have a story to tell, and I hope that one day my story will make somebody feel as good as I felt when reading somebody else's story, that will make them chuckle out loud, that it will bring tears to their eyes, make them cry to the point where they have to go get Kleenexes, that it will touch them in a way that is a good thing, that makes them not want to put the book down. I think writing is a way to travel with your mind. I think that writing is an escape. Writing helped me, not as much as reading did, but reading and writing, I should say, helped me when I was a child and my father died. That was my escape. That was how I grieved. I escaped into the novels that I read, to the books. I started out with books like Stuart Little and Charlotte's Web and The Chronicles of Narnia, and then worked my way up to adult books like Stephen King and Danielle Steele, and I have been reading and writing ever since. I started writing little short, tiny stories when I wrote my grandfather letters when he lived in New Orleans and I lived in Charleston, South Carolina, and I would write him letters and he would write me letters back. We would write little jokes and little stories. And I'm not sure that he could read very much of my stories back then in the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th grade, but I did try. And I've been writing and reading avidly ever since. So, yeah, I hope that one day my stories will touch somebody the way that other books have touched me. That the written word is delicious and delectable and fabulous and wonderful and the most awesome thing ever, and I can't imagine my life without books or writing. It's my NaNoWriMo tag. I'm going to list Kristina's link down below. I'm going to list my NaNoWriMo Addy down below, so if you want to become my writing buddy, let me know. Give me a shout out, and I hope to see you NaNoWriMoing. It's 1 week away, y'all. 1 week. 1 week. I'm so excited. 1 week. Thanks. Bye.